Hey guys, this is Sandy. I'm a licensed realtor here in the Central Florida area. Today I want to do a video on how to sell your home in the Orlando area. So if I So if I have a home, I'm trying to sell it right now in the Orlando area. Maybe I don't want to use an agent, maybe I do. If I'm going to use an agent, how do I pick one? Maybe I just want an investor to buy my house for cash. How do I go about this whole thing of selling my home? So today, and as I stand here, it is September in 2023. We have high interest rates. We have less buyers on the market right now looking to buy a home. We have new construction homes. Builders are given a lot of incentives to sell their inventory. Some builders are kind of slowing down, kind of watching to see what the interest rate's done, what the interest rate is doing. So the market is kind of topsy-turvy right now in September of 2023. So if I need to sell my home, because there's always going to be people that need to sell their home no matter what the market is doing. So if I'm looking to sell my home, what am I going to do? First, I'm going to have to put it in the best light possible, right? To attract the most buyers or investors possible, right? So we're a real estate company, and our name of our company is Your Home Sold Guarantee Realty. So we're guaranteeing the sale of your home. So in today's market, you are going to want to use a company, if you choose to use one, that's going to guarantee the sale of your home. Let's talk about cash buyers or cash investors. At the end of the day, you are going to get cash at the closing table. Even if the buyer is financing through a mortgage, you're still receiving all of your cash at the closing table. But in today's market, cash buyers may seem more incentivized because buyers that have to do financing are leery of the interest rate that they are getting. So if somebody is going to buy your home for cash, you'd love that in this market that we're in right now, because they don't have to worry about the interest rate. So how do you attract these cash buyers, or how do you attract them? We have regular cash buyers and we have cash investors. Obviously, if there's a cash investor, they're going to be looking to buy your home, possibly to rent it back to tenants, or maybe to buy your home to flip it. And based upon what kind of condition your home is in, that may be a great idea. So we work with a pool of investors. We have two different pool of investors. One of our pool of investors that we use to buy our clients' homes are going to be ones that are looking for homes that are in disrepair. That means the home need repair. You don't want to fix it, you just want to sell it and get rid of it. So we have that kind of investor. We also have the kind of investors that are looking to buy the home, either to hold and to sell it back, and they'll just hold it for a few months to see what the market does, and then they'll sell it, or they'll buy it and then they'll rent it back, right? We have fewer investors that want to do that because the rental market is kind of topsy-turvy as well. So if you're looking to sell your home, you're going to want to have as many options as you possibly could have. You're going to want to have cash investors if the home needs repairs, but you also want to have cash investors if it doesn't need repair, because maybe this particular investor is looking to buy it at market value, possibly to rent it back or to hold it then to sell it, right? And then we have the cash buyers, who are our end buyers. So that means they're coming from different places. Maybe they sold a home and they're buying another home, or they have money, so they could just buy the home as the end buyer. So you want to have these three categories. So now, how do you attract them? How do you find these people? So the first thing is, if you're selling it by yourself, you want to put the home in a light so you're able to find these people. Or if you're using a company, you want to use a company like ours that is going to expose you to as many buyers as possible. So one of the first things we do when we're trying to sell, when someone comes to us and say, hey, I'd like to sell my home, we first present their home to our investor pool, because we want to see if any one of our investors will want to buy the home for cash, so we don't have to have any open house, any showings, none of that stuff. They just buy it as is. So based upon what kind of condition the home is in. So we're going to present it to our pool of investors if the home needs work, that we know are only interested in those kind of properties. Or if the home is in complete move-in condition, it needs no work, we're going to present it to our regular investors. If one of our investors come and say, hey, we'll buy the home, that's a done deal. We have two different kind of investors when it comes to buying the home as an end buyer. We have the investors that's going to buy it and sit on it and then sell it, or the investors that's going to buy it and then rent it back, right? We also have the investors that will allow you the opportunity to sell the home, stay in the home, and then move out. You know, maybe you're building a home and you need the home to be completed. You know, you need the money out of the home to close on the home you're building, but you don't want to be homeless. So we have some more investors that will do a first closing and withhold some of the funds. So they'll do a first closing first so that you have the money to close on the home. They'll then give you the opportunity to live in the home for a while. And while you're doing that, they will then put the property back on the market to sell it. And then once it sells for the guarantee price that they gave you, then they will give you the money that they withhold and also give you any difference. That's very confusing, isn't it? Let's do an example. Let's say the home you're selling is for $450,000, and this particular investor said to you, yes, say, okay, I'm going to buy your home for $450,000. I'm going to pay you $300,000 upfront for the first closing, so you have the money to do whatever you want to do. You could then stay in the home for another 3 to 4 months if you're building a home, or if you're relocating, or if this scenario suits your kind of situation. We'll then give you $300,000 upfront. We're going to withhold $100,000. We're going to put the property. What did I say? The home was what, 400 or 450? Okay, let's say the home was 450. Let's say I give you 350 up front. So you get 350 up front on the first closing. So they have $100,000 left for you. They're going to put the property back on the market at 450. If the home sells at 450, at the second closing, you're going to get the $100,000 back. However, if the home sold at 470 or 480, you're going to get the $100,000 that they held back, plus the additional $20,000 or $30,000 more that the home sold for. It's kind of called an equity holdback, and some sellers like to do this if they need money out of the home immediately to either close on a home or maybe to free up their credit so they're able to qualify for something else. So we do have investors that work that way. Let's say you're not interested in none of that stuff. You don't want none of that stuff. You just want to sell your home for the most amount of money. You only want one closing. So with that, we're going to do what we're going to pre-certify your home. Now, how do we do this? We're going to pre-certify your home by doing a upfront inspection, right? So we need to do an inspection report to see what's going on. We don't want any surprises from the buyer in this market. So we're going to do we're going to pre-certify it by first doing a home inspection. If the roof is old, we want to do a 4-point wind mitigation on the roof, because the insurance company for the buyer is going to ask for that. So we want to make sure we get that done up front. We're also going to put a 2-year home warranty on the property. Why are we doing this? Because most builders, especially if we're competing with builders in the area that we're selling, are going to give a 1-year warranty on the appliances and all that great stuff. We want to do a 2-year warranty on the appliances, the HVAC, the hot water tank, and all the electrical and plumbing. The home warranty company that we use will allow the buyer to use their own contractor. So let's say they bought the property from you and within 2 months something went wrong with the air conditioning system. They're going to call the home warranty company. The home warranty company is either going to fix or replace the item. When they call the home warranty company is also going to tell them you could choose your own air conditioning company that you want to work on the air conditioner, so you don't think that our people are going out there making and saying it doesn't need to be replaced when it probably does need to be replaced. Okay, so we're going to give them a 2-year warranty. We're also going to do a preliminary title search and municipal search so that we have no surprises, because sometimes there's liens and permits that pop up on these searches that the homeowner knew nothing about. So once we do all this stuff, it then makes the home pre-certified. So we're pre-certifying it. Now, once all that's out of the way, now we're going to have to stage it to sell. So we're going to have one of our stagers. If the home is empty, we're going to have one of our stagers come in and furnish it for selling. Or if you already live in the home, we're going to have them stage it to sell. Then we'll do a professional photographic thing, or a professional photographer is going to come and do drone shots and all this great stuff. And then we're going to package it to sell, not just to the MLS or to Zillow or whatever it is, but we're going to go to our buyers that are looking for off-market properties. We have a pool of buyers. They don't want to look at the homes that's on the market. They're more interested in homes that are off the market, like homes that are just coming on the market. So we're going to market to them first. We're also going to market to our international buyers, because we have international buyers who are looking to buy, but they prefer to go with off-market properties, or off-market property home. So we're going to package that to them, and then once that's done, then we present it to the general public. If you're looking to sell one home and buy another home, it's not a bad idea to look for off-market properties that we specialize in. So let's say you live in subdivision A, and you're like, I don't want to live in subdivision A anymore. I want to go live in subdivision B. but there's no home on the market in subdivision B for me to look at, or all the homes in the market on subdivision B, I don't really like them. I don't like the layout. There's a particular layout I'm looking for and I don't like it. Now, how would you find an off-market property in subdivision B if it's not on the market for sale? We specialize in that. So we will contact the homeowners in subdivision B and say, hey, listen, we have a buyer looking to buy in your community. They're pre-approved up to Y. We know the homes in your area are selling for X. You know, as long as you're pre-approved for what the properties are selling for in subdivision B, are you looking to sell your home? Whether it's in bad condition, good condition, average condition, are you looking to sell your home? Once the homeowner say, yeah, we're looking to sell our home, but we're not quite ready, or we need for, you know, we're going to relocate in a few months, or we want to wait until school is out, or whatever they tell us. Once it works in your time frame, then that is how we go about doing off-market properties. We also find off-market properties by going to homes that were on the market for sale that did not sell, that now the sellers are thinking of selling it, but they don't really want to put it back on the market because they didn't have a good experience when it was on the market. So we do that as well. So these are some of the ways you would do to sell your Orlando home in particular, and we're in Orlando. You need to guarantee that your home will sell. One of our biggest thing that we do in our company, we guarantee the sale of your home. Yeah. So if we did all the stuff I just mentioned and we put it on the market and it did not sell, guess what we'll do? We will come in and we'll buy it from you. As long as you follow everything that we ask you to do. So if after 120 days of putting your home on the market, it did not sell, we will buy the property from you. Believe it or not, and we have you sign that upfront once we start to do the property on the market. Let's pretend, okay, Sandy, all that sounds good, but I want to sell the property myself. So if you want to sell the property yourself, you'll still do everything I just told you to do. You do a pre-inspection before you put the property on the market. You do a preliminary municipal and title search, so you have no problem. If your roof is older than 5 to 10 years old, you want to do a wind mitigation inspection on that to make sure that's all great and good. You want to bring in a stager to stage out the home, you know, to make sure it shows very well. You want to declutter and depersonalize the home for sure, right? You want to get a professional photographer to come out and do pictures because you don't want to just use your cell phone and, you know, it may not come out as good as you want it to be, right? And then when you market the property by yourself, you want to say, my home is pre-certified. And the buyer's going to be, well, what do you mean? You're going to say, I have a pre-certified resale home because certifying that we did all this work on it. We have an inspection we could give you up front. And then in addition to that, we're also offering you 2 years of home warranty on top of that. So normally if you go to a dealership to buy a car and you say pre-owned cars, what is wrong with me today? If you see pre-owned cars, right, the dealer is saying to you, hey, these are pre-owned, that they come under warranty. We're going to warrant them up to a year, 6 months, whatever they tell you. It's the same thing you're doing with your home. And on top of that, after doing all that stuff, what you want to do, which is going to be key, is you only want to target the people who will buy your home. Now, how do you know this? Well, based upon the home, if it's a small 3-bedroom, 2-bath, it may be for a first-time home buyer. If it's a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,000 square feet home, it may be a second or third-time home buyer. So you want to target that. How do you target that? By paying a company that do target sales. So they're going to go in and target the people that would most likely buy your home. And those are the buyers you want to target to. So instead of just putting it on Zillow or whatever it is, you're going to get a list of the people that would most likely buy your home. You could make up some postcards or letters and you could mail out to those people. And you're like, nobody does that. Oh yeah, we do, right? We do target marketing. And target marketing is what a lot of companies like. You've never seen a Bentley commercial or a yacht commercial or any of those commercials. The reason for that is because those kind of price point people, they target the people who are able to buy that from them. So for Rolls Royce or Bentley, you're not going to see a commercial for Rolls Royce or Bentley, right? You're not going to see it because they're only going to target the people, you know, that they think can afford to buy their car. That's what you're going to do if you're selling a home by yourself. You're going to target. You're not just going to rely on Zillow and, you know, putting a sign in the yard. You got to do everything I just said, plus you got to target market to find your ideal buyer, especially in this market. Another thing that you can do as a seller is to help the buyer with their closing costs or help them to buy down points. So if you have enough equity, you can afford to, like, say, give $5,000 towards the buyer to help them to buy down their points or towards their closing costs, that would also help in today's market. So if you're selling a home in the Orlando area, you have 2 choices. You could sell it by yourself, and I just gave you some pointers as to how to do that. or you could hire a company that will put it in the, expose it to the most amount of buyer, cash investors, regular investors, end buyer who are also investors, the best pool of people possible to buy. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, you could always send us a text. My number should be somewhere here, somewhere below, that we get all our text messages on. It's 407-791-4713. Or you could visit our website, which should be somewhere below here in the video. But we're here to help you no matter which way you go. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you on the next video.